What up, world? It's your boy G Lewis signing in from a remote location. Just wanted to go over a couple things. I was having a conversation with somebody, and we talked about boycotting the commercialism associated with Christmas, and that person said, "Well, now, I did that. Now what? You know, now what do I do? Nothing has changed." Please understand that this is a multifaceted journey. So it's going to take multiple steps. So you committed to the first step. You boycotted the commercialism associated with Christmas. And if you've done that, then, you probably have a little bit of extra money sitting. So the question that I was asked is, so G, what's next? And this is what I'll say to you. First, you've entered the new year with some savings. You've entered the new year with a nice sum of money, not broke, not struggling, and recovering from all these Christmas gifts you bought for your kids that they probably didn't need. But you got a little bit of extra money. So here's one or two things that I'll say. One, don't go right out and spend it. I know it's burning a hole in your pocket, and I know it makes you feel like, wow, this is awesome. I got this money and all these sales are happening. Let me go out and spend this money. This is what I'll suggest to you. Two things. One, black people don't take enough vacations. Americans don't take enough vacations. If you haven't taken your kids anywhere for a while, if you haven't gone anywhere with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or your husband or wife for a while, you know what? Take half of that money, plan you a nice little trip. Recoup and replenish yourself, because emotional wellness is as good as financial and physical wellness. If you're not emotionally well, if you're not spiritually well, then you can have all the money in the world. You're not going to last very long. So take a vacation. Go somewhere for a few days, decompress, reconnect, refocus, rebuild the bonds that you have with that person that you love or with your kids. Okay? Now, take the other half of that money. There are 10 black-owned banks in the United States. 10 black-owned, right? These banks actually invest in black businesses. They invest in giving loans to black entrepreneurs. So I challenge you to take some of that money and invest it in a savings account in one of those banks. Okay? And if you want to put the other half in the bank that you know, that you trust, just put it in savings. Okay? That's one thing. Now, what is that going to do? Number one, it puts you in a position of financial wellness. For the first time in a long time, you're probably going to have a real cushion, a real emergency fund, a real nice little hunk of money that's sitting there in case you really, really need it. Two, it's going to a business that actually supports the African American community. Okay? So that's one benefit of it. Two, by taking a vacation, like I said, spiritual wellness, emotional wellness is just as important as physical wellness and financial wellness. So if you're not well mentally, you're not well emotionally, then you're not well. Okay? Now, what else is next? It's more than just the money. Okay? Here's another challenge I have for you. There are people that you sit down and you talk to every day on your opinions on how things are going or how things have gone or are not going. And for the most part, you talk to people who agree with you. My challenge is organize at least one person a month that agrees with you until you get enough that you guys can sit down in a group and discuss exactly how you feel and exactly the things that you want to take place. And then my challenge to you is go online, look up your local congressman, go visit your local congressman, sit in that office with all those people that you've organized, and you sit down and you have a discussion with that congressman or congresswoman, and you tell them exactly what it is that you expect them to do when they go to Washington, D.C. Now, this might or might not have an impact, but what it will do for you is it will get you off the sidelines and get you involved. The reality is we're about to have an election in November. President Obama can't run for another term. So all the people who have been sleeping, who have not been involved, who are just been sitting, not doing anything, thinking that it's going to miraculously or magically be okay because of who sits in the White House, it's time to kind of throw that theory to the side and recognize that the only person that can change your situation is you. It has to start with you. So a practice of getting involved. Okay. Next, let's start reclaiming our humanity. Okay. What do I mean by that? We just finished Thanksgiving. We just finished Christmas, where you had all this food and you probably made more than you could even hold, and you ate until you were ready to burst, and you probably gained 30 pounds before the new year, right? Would it have hurt to make a plate, go ride down the street until you found someone sleeping on the street, sitting on the street, and hand them a plate and say, Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year? Would it have hurt to do that? No. Somewhere along the line, we've lost our humanity. One of the questions that was asked to me is, well, black people don't even love black people because we lost our humanity. If we can't love anybody, how can we love each other? Right? So love is something that's practiced. So I challenge you this year, get out and practice. Find one thing that you can do to help make your surroundings, your community a little bit better. Okay? Last but not least, people. I get it. Turkey, ham, fried chicken, fried fish, mashed potatoes, lasagna, pizza, cheeseburgers, pasta. It all tastes good, but it's killing us. Okay? It's time for us to get healthy, and it's time for us to be intelligent and stop making excuses for our choices. Okay? I'm not saying you got to give up everything you love. I'm just saying everything in moderation. Maybe you don't have to have pizza, cheeseburgers, spaghetti, fried chicken all in the same week. Maybe you can actually have fish once that's not fried. Maybe it's not so bad to have chicken that's baked from time to time. Maybe it's not so bad to get up and go for a walk after you eat or before you eat, just to make sure that you're doing something for your body. Because if you're not around, then how can you help anybody? More or less us, or your people or your family. So, please, people, it's time to get healthy, and it's time to stop the excuses. And, if we're around and we can do those four things, if we can take the money, take a vacation and put some money in savings, if we can organize and get at least a few people together to think like us and get off the couch and start getting involved. If we can reclaim our humanity, right, and rebuild our health, we will get back to becoming the kind of nation that we were always meant to be. This is G. Lewis. Just had to get something off my chest. All right, y'all. Peace.